If you're watching this video, it would be useful if you watch part 1 first of all. In this question, I'm going to find 65% of £840 without using a calculator. 65% is not an easy number to work with, but how can you get 65% of something? Well, you can find 50% of something quite easily. You can find 10% of something quite easily. And if you've got 10%, you can find 5% of something. And if you add together 50%, 10% and 5%, you end up with 65%. So we're going to go through that process. So we're starting with £840. First off, we're going to work out 50%. 50% is the same as a half. And a half is the same as dividing by 2. So if I divide my 840 by 2, I will get 50%. So down here I'm setting out my dividing sum. 2 into 8 goes 4 times. 2 into 2 goes 2 times. 2 into nothing is nothing. So I get here £420. That is 50%. That will be useful. I'll come back to that in a minute. Next thing I needed was 10%. So if I'm starting again with £840 and I want 10% of it, for 10%, if your number ends in naught, you just knock that naught off. So 10% will be £84. So I've now got that other piece of information. So I've got my 50%, my 10%, I've got to get my 5%. Well, 5% is half of 10%. So I need to get my 10% number, which is my 84, and divide that by 2. So 2 into 8 goes 4 times, 2 into 4 goes twice. So 5%, I've just worked that out as being £42. So I've got my 50% number, my 10% number and my 5% number. From what I said earlier, if I add those together, I can get 65%. So let's do that down here. I need my 50% number, my 10% number and my 5% number. My 50% number was £420. My 10% number was £84. My 5% number was £42. So I'm now going to add those together. Well, there's no pence, that's nice and easy. 0, 4 and 2 make 6. 2 and 8 make 10. And 4 make 14. So I put the 1 down here. The 4 and that 1 make 5. So I've worked out that 65% of £840 is £546. And that was all done without the use of a calculator.